Hi, in this video I'm going to tell you about some of the great new features that we've added to MagManager. These have been available since the 31st of January 2016. I'm going to do this video in one go, so there might be some pregnant pauses, there might be some bits I get wrong, but bear with me, I just want to show you the features. As you can see, I'm on the dashboard. I'm just going to search for a client, Simon Smokers, who I created earlier. So they haven't got any bookings, you'll notice no bookings, no adverts, nothing at all. I'm going to go ahead and create a booking for them for April in a couple of magazines. So I'm going to go ahead and create this booking. So I'm going to make it a full page advert, drag it down onto here. There you go. Set that to £100. So I've now got a booking for Chepstow Voice, Ross Voice, £100 in each of those magazines. I can now add a discount to those, so if I want to, I can put 15% discount in. You'll notice MagManager automatically calculates it for me, but it leaves the original price there. It just adds a discount to those particular bookings. Let's save that booking. Now we know many of you also charge miscellaneous items for things like artwork design, or maybe admin charges if they're bad payers, something like that. So we've created a new miscellaneous booking type within MagManager. Click the miscellaneous tab that appears. You'll notice there are no miscellaneous sales for this person right now. You wouldn't expect them to be. I push on add item, and I can either choose a publication in issue, or I can choose a month in which to invoice it. So, for example, artwork design is likely to be for a publication in issue. So in this case, let's go ahead and say Ross Voice, April 2016, it is artwork design. You'll notice it puts a default price in there. Those are set up from within the system settings. We also want to give them an admin charge. So let's push a plus, which adds another item. Okay, again, it defaults it to what we had before. Let's say I'm not going to have a publication in issue, but I'm charging them an admin charge, and I want to charge them that in April 2016. So it's not attached to a publication or an issue, it's just saying I'm going to charge you this in April 2016. So that's quite good if you've got some repeat miscellaneous bookings that you do for people. We know some of our customers do website hosting, for example, so you could schedule these for April, June, quarterly, however you want to do, and then they will automatically get invoiced at the appropriate times. Again, we can overwrite this, so I'm feeling really bad. I'm going to charge them £50 for their admin charge. Save the booking, you'll notice it's updated that booking. So we now have April 2016 a booking for an advert, and we have a miscellaneous booking for artwork design and an admin charge. Now, of course, all of this stuff is great, but you need it to be able to invoice those things as well for you. And yes, you can go ahead and you can go and invoice these things individually for a customer, but actually you need them to come out as the batch style invoices, so when you're running all of the invoices for April's issue, for example. So we've added that as well. So if you go to Invoicing, and we click on April 2016, remember that booking we just did was for April 2016. There are no invoices at the moment that have been created for April 2016, so let's create some. And here you go, it will now show me all of the bookings that people have made for April 2016 and all of the invoices that it wants to create. Let's just deal with Simon's, just to demonstrate the batch thing. So what you'll notice here is it's got Simon's Smokers, so it's got the company name, it's got those two bookings that we made, but it's also got these miscellaneous charges. So it's noticed that you need to invoice them for artwork design in April 2016 because it was on that issue. And we also need to apply an admin charge because you told MagManager that you wanted to charge it in April 2016. So we can go ahead and we can tell it to create those invoices for us. So if I create the invoice for those 4 bookings now, let's go ahead and create those invoices. As you know, it goes ahead and creates all those PDFs, so it takes a little while. There you go, it's done it. And what you'll notice now, if I push the little plus button, here's the invoice. We should see the discounted amount off of the 2 full-page adverts. That's correct, 15%, £30 on those 2. But we also see the artwork design on there, and we also see the admin charge on there as well. So what it's done is it's aggregated all of those individual bookings together that you said needed to be invoiced in April and put them onto a single April invoice for the person. It's a really cool feature. One of the other features we've added is the ability to export your invoices to Xero. A lot of our customers were saying to us, MagManager is great, we can do all these bookings and we know how much we need to charge people, but at the end of the month we have to do a print and then we have to go to Xero and type all of those individual invoice amounts in, and it takes us ages. So, a simple fix for us really. If we now go ahead and let's have a look at all of the invoices that we raised in December 2015, you'll see we've got 145 invoices there. We just have a button now that says export to Xero. So let's say you've gone through and done your monthly invoice batch run just like we did for the April one a minute ago. You would then say export to Xero, push the export to Xero, and it creates you a CSV file. It's downloaded it onto my Mac, you can't see it in the background. Then you simply switch over to Xero, and it's in the account section. You go to sales and push import. Okay. Push browse to find the file that you downloaded a minute ago. There it is, the Xero.csv file. Open it and push import. Okay, you'll notice Xero says I've found 145 new invoices that I'm going to import. It might say I've found duplicate invoices, so you don't need to worry if you do accidentally do it twice, it will find those duplicate invoices for you. Push complete import. It will chunk away a little bit. And there you go. It's now imported those invoices into the system. Okay. You'll also notice it's got the invoice numbers. So you now have a way of matching your invoice numbers in Xero to your invoice numbers in MagManager. So when people talk to you about the invoices in MagManager, they're the same invoice number as they are in Xero. It's a really cool feature and it saves people loads and loads of time. We've been test trialing this for a couple of months with our own systems, and it really does save an awful lot of time. Let's just go back and have a quick look again at Simon's Smokers. So we go back to the Simon's Smokers client. There's a couple of other cool things that we've added in here as well. So we have what's called a customer timeline now. So this timeline tab has appeared. It only appears for admins. Administrators, if you want to add it for your normal users, you can. It's just simply a user role that you add for those users. If I push on timeline, it then shows me over a period of time everything that's happened with this client. So you can see at 1826 I updated the client's details. So I can see what it looked like before the update. I can see what it looked like after the update. Not only that, I can see who updated it and what time they did it. It's really, really cool. It doesn't just do client details updated. It does bookings, so it knows what booking you did. It even does invoices. So if I click there you go. It's going to show me that invoice that we just raised, a copy of the PDF of the invoice that we raised. Okay, loads and loads of stuff appears on here, including when you add something onto the flat plan, where you've put it on the flat plan, where you've moved it on the flat plan. All of those things appear onto the customer timeline. One of the other great features is the ability to stop people booking. Now that might sound counterintuitive, but we all have those customers who don't pay. Fact of life, they don't pay. Or they're problem customers and you just don't want to take bookings from them anymore. Well, for a long time in MagManager, you've been able to flag a customer. So normally you would just put a flag on a customer to say, well, they're a bad payer. We've extended that a bit more from some user feedback that we got. So now if you click on bad payers and push save, what you'll notice is you can no longer click any of these elements to add a new booking. It's simply not possible. MagManager will no longer allow you to place a booking for that particular customer. People think they can get around it by saying, well, I'll just go into the existing booking and add lines. You can't even do that. You've still got the flag telling you that they're bad payers and you can't add. So it really does stop people, and it's great in an environment where you've got some of your employees adding bookings for you. You can mark people as bad payers, and then your employees just can't book into them. We've had lots of people say to us, look, we've got 5 people who work for us. They'll just keep trying ringing each individual person until one of them will book. Now, it's just not possible. We also have a look on the flat plans. So the flat plans have changed subtly. So before we do that, let's just have a look at categories and subcategories. So on categories, you'll notice Simon Smokers is food and drink, but we also have what we call subcategories now. So you can now create subcategories within those individual categories. So food and drink has bakers, butchers, cafe, fishmongers, restaurant, smokehouse. We're setting it as smokehouse, and that has an effect on the flat plan, which is why I mentioned it before I go to the flat plan. If I now go to bookings, I can get to the flat plan directly from a particular booking by just clicking on the magnifying glass. So here you are, it's now taken me to the flat plan. If I move this over here and drop it on there, what you now notice is we always had new on there, but we now have food and drink and we have smokehouse on there. So it's showing us the category and the subcategory. And it's really good for some of our customers who organise their magazines into categories, because it allows you to see where you've got all of your like customers together. So make sure all your food and drink categories are together. Make sure your smokehouses are apart within the food and drink category. But it's a really good feature for those customers. So that's a summary of all of the new stuff that's been added into MagManager. In order to take advantage of those, though, you're going to need to change some of your settings. So if we go to our settings, you can see what's been added. So you see the first one, the miscellaneous sales items. This is where you set up that drop down that says, right, here are the things that you can choose for miscellaneous items. Now if you want, you can set a default price of 0 on them if you really want to. But it allows you, for example, to say my admin charge is £10 by default. So again, if you've got lots and lots of staff working for you, they always know that the admin charge is £10. If you want to put it up, you change that to 15 and you'll then have 15 on there. But you need to set up your miscellaneous sales items. You just push new item to add a new item and a default price. So that's the first item that you need to change. The next one that you'll need to look at is your company categories. So you'll notice company categories as it was before, but we now have this extra piece called subcategories. So you'll notice food and drink, which is the one we were looking at with Simon Smokers, has 6 subcategories within it. If I click on subcategories, it will show me those subcategories. If I want to add a new one, I can add a new one. Greengrocers, for example. And that's now added that subcategory to food and drink. So if I go back, you'll see I now have 7 subcategories against food and drink. So you need to go ahead and set those ones up as well. And the final one is your company flags. And so that's how you get the bookings to be switched off when a particular flag is set. So you see here we have the bad payers flag, and that's set to allow bookings off. So if I put it like that, if you set somebody as a bad payer, they'll still be allowed to book. Set it like that, they're now a bad payer, they can't book. So those are the settings that you need to update for MagManager. We hope you enjoy the new features. Look out for some great new stuff that's coming in the next couple of months, and hope to speak to you soon.